What are the signs of heart attack in women over 60? Have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by an excruciating leg cramp? Your legs stiff, unable to stretch, feeling as if it were being squeezed from the inside? So intense that you could hardly breathe? You are not alone. Millions of people, especially after the age of 60, live with this fear every night. Some even break down in tears at 2 in the morning because they cannot escape the pain that lingers for minutes. But here is the good news. There is a way to stop leg cramps instantly, in just a few seconds, without medication and without even getting out of bed. And the surprising truth is this: most of us have never been taught how to do it correctly. So what exactly is it? Before I share, let us first make something clear. Why haven't the methods you tried before worked? The word-of-mouth remedies that don't really work. Have you ever heard someone say, "Just take magnesium and the cramps will go away"? Maybe you even tried it yourself. Magnesium tablets from the pharmacy, supplements sold on Amazon, or even drinking coconut water, eating bananas every day because you believed you were low on potassium. But what happened? Despite all your efforts, the painful cramps still struck right in the middle of the night, just when you were in your deepest sleep. So is your body resistant to everything? Or have you been believing things that are no longer true? The truth is, most popular remedies like magnesium, potassium, or B-complex vitamins do not have strong evidence for older adults suffering from nighttime leg cramps. A 2020 Cochrane systematic review analyzed 11 randomized studies involving more than 700 adults and concluded clearly that magnesium supplementation does not significantly reduce cramp frequency, especially in older adults. Worse still, many people reported side effects such as diarrhea, bloating, and even insomnia. So why are these recommendations still being spread so widely? Perhaps it is because those remedies are simple, easy to remember, and sound scientific. But if you are 60 or 70 years old, after hundreds of nights tormented by cramps, you don't need something that sounds right. You need a solution that truly works right at the moment the pain begins. And in fact, many people have asked themselves the very same thing. If magnesium doesn't work for me, then what else can I do? Have you ever thought that way? Let me share something interesting with you. In another study published in the Nutrition Journal in 2021, a particular type of magnesium, specifically magnesium oxide monohydrate, MOMH, showed promising results. After 2 months, those who used MOMH experienced, on average, 3 fewer cramps per week. And more importantly, they slept better and felt less pain. You might be thinking, so I just need to switch to this type of magnesium? But hold on before you conclude. Even in that study, the benefits did not appear overnight. It took several weeks for changes to be noticeable, and more importantly, MOMH is not widely available and not sold everywhere. And suppose you cannot wait. Suppose you are lying in bed in the middle of the night, gripped by a painful spasm with no magnesium anywhere in reach. At that moment, what you need is not a pill. What you need is an immediate action. A technique you can perform right then and there, using only your own body to release the muscle from spasm within seconds. So what is that action? How do you do it right where you are, without leaving the bed, without anyone's help? I will show you exactly that in a moment, but before moving on to the instructions, I want to ask you something. Do you remember the last time you had a cramp? What did you do at that moment? And more importantly, what was it that made you feel the most helpless?
2. Emergency action when a cramp strikes. When you are deep asleep and a sudden cramp hits, you don't have time to search for medicine. You cannot wait for magnesium to take effect, nor can you drag yourself out of bed to walk it off. At that moment, what you need is a way to release the spasm immediately, using only your own body. So, what should you do? The first thing, and something many people don't know, pull your toes back toward your knee as quickly as possible. If you are lying on your back, keep your legs straight, then grab your toes with your hand and gently pull them toward you. If you cannot reach, use a towel or the edge of your bed sheet as a strap to pull. The goal is to stretch the calf muscle in the opposite direction of the cramp. Why does this work? According to neurologists, cramps occur when muscles contract forcefully, usually due to abnormal nerve signals. The act of pulling the toes backwards triggers a natural relaxation response in the muscle, helping interrupt that faulty signal. In practice, many people report feeling relief within 5 to 10 seconds when done correctly. Have you ever tried this movement? And if you did, were you sure you performed it correctly? A 68-year-old woman once shared that on a winter night, she had such a severe cramp she could not even sit up. Her legs stiffened like stone, and she nearly cried from the pain. But instead of trying to stand, she remembered instructions she had once seen in a video. She grabbed the edge of her blanket, hooked it under her foot, and pulled gently. "I couldn't believe it. Just seconds later, the pain disappeared," she said. Can you imagine that feeling? Going from desperate agony to sudden relief in an instant? If after stretching the muscle you still feel tightness, gently massage the calf or the sole of the foot. You can use your own hands, or if someone is nearby, ask them to press lightly on the hardened area. The sense of touch, combined with gentle pressure, helps improve blood flow and relax the neuromuscular system. One simple trick many older adults share. Place your foot flat on the floor, press your weight onto your heel for a few seconds, and you may feel your body reset. Have you ever tried this method? If not, are you ready to try it the next time? Additionally, if you have a warm water bottle or heating pad nearby, place it on the cramped muscle. The warmth helps dilate blood vessels and increase circulation to the affected muscle. Conversely, if the area feels inflamed or swollen, try applying a cold compress to soothe it. These are extremely simple, drug-free remedies, yet so often overlooked. Could it be that you have been missing an opportunity for instant relief simply because you did not know how? Another important point: keep your breathing steady and deep throughout the process. The pain can make you panic, hold your breath, or tense your whole body, but that only makes the cramp worse. Close your eyes, inhale deeply through your nose, and exhale slowly through your mouth, as if you were helping your muscles relax from the inside out. Do you remember the last time you had a cramp? How did you breathe? How did you react in that moment? All of these actions, pulling the toes, massaging, applying heat, controlled breathing, cost nothing, require no prescription, and need no waiting. But they only work if you know how to do them correctly right at the critical moment. Are you ready to save these instructions so you won't be caught off guard again? But how do you prevent cramps at the root instead of only treating them once the pain has begun? Is there something you can do during the day so you no longer wake up at night in agony? The answer lies in the next part.
Number 3. Long-term prevention of cramps. There is a truth many people overlook. Most nighttime cramps do not happen randomly. They are the result of accumulated habits, from how you move, to how you eat, to how long you sit still without activity. A French study in 2020 revealed that people over 60 with a sedentary lifestyle had nearly 10 times the risk of cramps compared to those who maintained light daily activity. What does this mean for you? It means you can significantly reduce or even eliminate the risk of cramps, not through medication, but with a few simple actions repeated every day. For example, one of the easiest methods is stretching your calves before going to bed. You simply stand facing a wall, step one foot forward, keep the other leg straight behind you with the heel on the floor, place your hands on the wall, and hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Switch sides, then repeat. This exercise stretches the Achilles tendon and the gastrocnemius muscle, two of the areas most likely to spasm when lying still for long periods. Are you already practicing this simple move every night? A 70-year-old woman once wrote in an email, "I didn't really believe it, but after stretching my legs every night, I slept straight through for 2 weeks without a single cramp. It felt like a miracle." But in reality, it was not a miracle. It was the true effect of a consistent habit. Perhaps you have overlooked this because you thought, "I'm retired, I don't do heavy work." But in fact, the less you move, the more easily your muscles stiffen when you lie still for long periods. So, are you willing to start tonight with just 1 minute so your body can rest peacefully while you sleep? Beyond stretching, there are a few other important things you can do right away. Drink enough water during the day, since silent dehydration is one of the leading causes of muscle cramps. Change your sleeping position if you often curl your knees too much, and if possible, take a light walk each morning or evening, even just a few laps around the house. Muscles need blood, they need movement, and you are the only one who can pump blood into them with each step you take. But perhaps the most important thing is this: don't wait until the pain forces you to change. Cramps may seem silent, but the consequences are sleepless nights, exhaustion, and a sense of dread every time darkness falls. If you have lived through that, you know how helpless it feels. So, if just a few small daily habits could change that, would you choose to delay or to start now? And if you know someone, your father, mother, spouse, or an older friend, who is suffering from the same pain, will you share this with them? Perhaps you have experienced that helplessness yourself, lying in bed in the middle of the night when a sudden cramp strikes. You cannot call out. No one is near to help. It is just you, curled up in agony. And maybe you have become so accustomed to it that you think it must just be old age. But the truth is this: age is not a reason to endure pain. Pain is not normal just because you're retired. Nothing is normal about a 60 or 70-year-old being forced out of sleep in tears because of muscle cramps. I want you to remember this: there is a solution, and sometimes it is surprisingly simple. A gentle stretch, a minute of deep breathing, a small habit before bed, and above all, the decision not to let the pain return tomorrow night. I also know that change is not easy. You may be thinking, I've already tried so many things. Perhaps you have listened to dozens of pieces of advice, swallowed countless pills, and still felt no difference. But this time you are not just hearing another piece of advice. You are being guided on how to actively take back control of your own body. And if you're thinking, I'll give it a try, then try it today. Stretch your calves before going to bed. Drink an extra glass of water. Pull your toes back towards you the moment a cramp begins and see what happens. If this video helps you, share it, because you will not only be helping yourself, you could be helping your parents, your spouse, someone in your church, or even your neighbor live a calmer, more peaceful night. You can also leave a comment below. I always read them. Share your experience or tell me what you learned from this video. I want to hear from you. And if you're asking yourself, what else might be silently causing these cramps that I don't know about, the next video will reveal 3 foods that seem healthy but actually increase the risk of nighttime cramps, especially in people over 60. Don't miss it, because when you understand your body, each pain, each subtle signal, you will not only live longer, but live more fully with nights of restful sleep and mornings without fear.